show, yeah. So, can you talk about the transition from both XFL to UFL? Has it been personally that transition?
Oh, let me I'll go first. Really felt that transition.
Yeah. Well, we've talked to our staff yesterday and said, we've been an entity for 78 days when we closed on this deal. It has been a wonderful experience, quite frankly. Having a background with the folks from Fox, especially Eric, Daryl, and the team, the whole process has been about respect, empathy, and relationships. And this is great for the ecosystem of the game of football. And when you take that lens, each and every day, the process was as smooth as it could have gone. There was a lot of moving parts, and it took quite a while to get to where we are today, but we are here today, and today is truly day one of the UFL.
Absolutely, and I'll follow it up from an ownership standpoint. We've had incredible leadership within the team. Us and the team, we had obviously some legal hurdles we had to get through to get here, but it makes so much sense. I would say, as I've been in camp, and I was at camp last week with all of the teams, you could feel the cloud of uncertainty between XFL and USFL, etc., back and forth, was gone. It was just UFL. And the athletes were so incredibly focused and they were so ready. So the payoff of maybe all the multiple millions of steps that we had to get through was absolutely worth it. And now the culture of UFL will thrive and grow. So it's been great.
Good morning, Bron Murray, K104. So just a quick question for both of you all. With the merging of the USFL and the XFL, do you feel that you have the best combination of talent, like after the NFL, excluding college play?
I'll jump into that first. Usually you get the correct answer. I'm going to say immediately yes. Obviously we had to go through a process of taking 16 teams down to 8 teams. And within that process, the drafting process we had in place that Rex can be more detailed about, we've come away with talent that's just absolutely stellar. You'll see it in the play, you see it in the size, you'll see it in the conditioning. Each team, if you were historically to who they were last year versus this year, the difference is right there.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments. We onboarded 600 athletes on February 22nd, and it was markedly different when you looked at the athletes that were entering the process, and when you watch it on the field as well. It really stands out to you. We have 400 athletes here now, and 315 of those athletes have signed an NFL contract. And when you look at the amount of athletes, I think we've had 107 of those athletes that were drafted in the NFL. And look at the collegiate experience and the coaching development here. I'm really excited to see the product on the field throughout the weekend and beyond. I think you'll see a market difference in the dynamic play from our athletes.
Jim Cole with Fox Dallas. Welcome to Arlington. Obviously, the goal here is to make football last and make this league grow. How do you feel at this juncture? Are there nerves? Is there excitement? What is the feeling about what is now?
I think there should always be nerves, even though leadership.
Absolutely.
Right? And we have an incredible partnership. We've got owners around the table who know the game and know how to build legacy, and actually executive leadership is just absolutely stunning. And you've also have additional ownership who knows entertainment, right? Knows how to do big and broad. So our deck is stacked. We know we've got work to do, but I have never been more confident because the pathway is clear. Right? We've got an incredible system there, wonderful location. We've got an abundance of talent and more talent waiting to come. And the fans are responding. So ticket sales increase and continue to increase through the year. Those principles, those really important metrics are all in place and are improving. So from my opinion.
Yeah, I would say, I say this often, being in the NFL as long as I often say it all starts with ownership. And when you look at our ownership portfolio, you have such a power in Dany Garcia, Dwayne Johnson, Fox, Redbird Capital, Disney, that's a darn good start to what we're doing. And when you look at the legacy XFL of 2020, the pandemic obviously hit. They were doing very well, and that was super unfortunate, as we all know. The USFL was off to a solid start, very good start for the last 2 years, and we had an excellent start last year. So putting this all together, I think the timing is right. We're building for long-term sustainable success. Quite honestly, I would not be here if we weren't taking that approach. So I truly believe that this league will be here well beyond my years.
Good morning, Kelvin Cayley, BCB Plus. Thank you for the opportunity. One big drawing point for the XFL was the innovation in the rules and what you guys brought. And we obviously see that with the kickoff affecting the NFL now. Is the goal of the UFL still that to be that innovative league and bring new ideas to the table that will impact football overall?
Sure. We're a league of innovation and technology. I always say we're not a league of gimmicks, we're a league of innovation, and we will continue to look at that through every single lens, both on and off the field. So the answer to your question is yes, we will continue to. The other thing that we're nimble, and we can look at things holistically and see what's best for our players and for our league and for our fans. And when you have an ownership group who's so involved in the process and understands every element of the process, it makes it a lot easier for us to react to how we're going to continue to innovate as we move forward.
And it's one of our founding principles. We apply it to, not only what happens on the field, but how are we interacting with our players? How are we interacting with our coaches? What is the content we're developing? How are we, disseminating that in new and innovative ways? So it's, at the end of the day, one of the things UFL should always, when people think of the UFL, spring football and dynamic play, that word innovation should always be there.
Hey guys, Matty Fresh from Springball Boulevard. You guys got the XFL to the end of season 1 last year, which is something not a lot of people thought was going to happen. Now in 2020,
No, I did.
I told you guys you couldn't do it, and you did something pretty special. In 2024, that doesn't seem to be an issue. How do you define success for the UFL in 2024?
I think we're going to have some similar point of views, but maybe a little bit different. I'm going to say that it's going to continue to build upon what we have here today, right? To have the success that we had, and then to continue to develop it with our players. That we have to have dynamic play, to have our fans engage in an even greater way, to have more fans. Right? We've got some new markets now with our USFL. So we actually have a lot of metrics that go beyond just the performance on the field, with the performance on the field being one of the metrics. Right? Our expectation is that you will see it today, and you will see it through all our broadcasts for the next 10 weeks plus. But that there is a lot of places that we're looking at, and it's going to be measured correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Really everything Dany said, from that standpoint, I've been asked this question numerous times, and it's everything from on the field, off the field, player engagement, fan engagement, our social and digital strategies, how we're presented on linear television, all the things that you know. I'm more excited about that. I spent the last month planning 25 season and how we're laying out the future of this league, how we're a 365-day operation, how we're going to activate in the non-season. So those are very exciting pillars for our team to work on, and we've been working on that for the last 2 months.
Our last 2 questions.
Carlos Nava, ESPN International Deportes. How important is the Hispanic market for the UFL? The football is growing up in Mexico or some other countries like crazy. So what is the plan with the Hispanics?
Oh, it's good. You asking this cute? Absolutely important. The Hispanic market, in fact, first of all, you look at ownership, right? So that extension leading into those markets are extremely important. There's incredible talent there. The fan base is extremely important to me personally, to us, to ownership. So we'll continue to make sure our focus, our conversations, how we're telling stories always has a lens that's broadest, right? So it includes who our viewers are. So of course we acknowledge and we build towards that fact. So I would say absolutely very important.
Yes, we're a league of diversity, and we will continue to market to diversity, continue to add to our organization with diversity. And with that will become more and more marketing promotional opportunities across the board for all of us.
Our last question.
Welcome, y'all. Jimmy Jai with B210 Sports. Besides continuing to create opportunities for the 54th man, what are y'all looking to improve upon this year specifically to continue to be able to provide this opportunity for players moving forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, when you go to, I do the circle pretty much every day and go to practices, and you see these young men that are chasing their dream or continuing to play. So we are a standalone professional league, and that's what the UFL stands for, to unlock and unleash the opportunities for these young men. One of the things that has been thrilling for me personally is to tell Dany that we just lost our head of strength and conditioning, Zach Woodfin, to become the head of strength and conditioning for the Tennessee Titans. That's a thrilling opportunity for him. It's not just about all the athletes on the field, it's about our officials. It's 6 officials get promoted to the NFL with people in social media and training, not only to the NFL, but to other dreams that they're looking to achieve in their life, and this league provides that. For me, personally, it's very fulfilling to see people in our organization continue to thrive.
Absolutely. We continue, this past year we did our HBCU combines, which were fantastic. I was so happy to see one of my players from that combine that we specifically offered. We will continue to be not only casting the widest net when we're looking at where talent should be or maybe is not being addressed, we do the same thing for our organization. That, and I'm glad you asked that question, because that, very similar to the innovation question, is one of our specific pillars that people should think about when they think of UFL. That's how important it is. I mean, if you look at ownership, look at myself. Right? I'm not the 54th man. I'm the 120th woman. So, that energy and that pathway to say, where can greatness lie and how do we unleash it? That's who we are. So thank you for that.
Good to see you guys.
Good to be here. This is Alan Alford from the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The last time I saw you face to face, we were crowned in the Arlington Renegades at the Alamo Dome.
We had fun.
It was awesome. Yeah. Can you talk about that experience and that vindication as well, being player 54?
Went deep for that. Right out of the gates. The experience was really amazing, and it was a really nice full circle moment for myself, and that's not the most important thing. The most important thing was really crowning those players after a long, hard season, a historic season, if you will, as we had our XFL ramp back up. And the full circle moment, just even amidst the noise of the day and the craziness and the pomp and circumstance and the confetti and everyone really excited, I really wanted to try my best to take a moment to kind of be as present as possible in the quietness of my own crazy brain. Just the thought of, like, man, this is really cool. My goal was to play in the NFL, and that never happened for me. So many moons later, to be able to help create an opportunity for those players to live those dreams, and then eventually some of them have an opportunity to play in the NFL. Really cool.
Good afternoon, this is Byron from Mo Sports Talk. How you doing?
How are you?
With the success of XFL and the merger now, and seeing the teams that was cut in half to 8 teams, I'm already going to call it a success going forward. So going forward, will there be a possibility of seeing more teams added to the UFL?
Yes, I think that's all a possibility. I think as we stood this new iteration of this league up, the merging of XFL and USFL, the idea was what were the cities that we can stand up and create the brand in, and also be open to how and where and when we can expand the league into other cities as well. Because as we all know, just as fans of football, there are a lot of cities out there who would not only love to have a UFL team, but fully embrace a UFL team. So we'll continue to look at that and see where we can open up and expand. It's exciting. I'm a little biased because I think Hawaii needs a team.
Great, hey Dwayne right here, Jimmy Jai with D210 Sports. Besides continuing to create opportunities for the 54th man, what are y'all looking to improve on as a league so that y'all can create, so y'all can still have the opportunity to create these opportunities for these players?
Sure. I think that what we look to create is, let me rephrase my answer. What we look to do is to continue to find opportunities for us to implement innovation. And I think being a smaller league in the spring, 8 teams, gives us that nimbleness. And also, we don't have 8 owners, but we have just a few who are all aligned and running towards the same direction and looking at the same North Star. It does give us that flexibility to implement new ruling, new innovations. Not that it's come down to this, but we do have the capacity and the willingness, if we think of an idea on Tuesday, we're going to implement it on Saturday. And what we have found is, with the support of the UFL, their league, their coaches, and their players too as well, they appreciate that. We appreciate that too. So I would say innovation would be our front foot, and continue to look at, I think, and find players who are passionate about the game. And that's what you're finding. Both of you mentioned 54. And that's that concept and conceit is a very real one. For those of you who don't know, there's 53, you guys know this part, 53 men on an NFL roster. I always consider myself number 54, where you're good, DJ, but if you had a little bit more experience, you would have made it. Like, I heard that story a lot from my coaches. So I always feel like I'm 54, but the representation of the spirit of 54, you see with these players who are scrappy and will do all that they can to take advantage of this opportunity.
Great.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Is it okay if I call you the final boss?
It is. Yes. I was just going to say that. You're reading my mind.
Just checking. So you spoke, there was talk earlier about the HBCUs. Is your plan to continue to go into those areas and look at those players? Because I think it's a really unique opportunity for them to have this type of chance.
Great question. We have to continue to explore all HBCU youth and those players and look to create opportunities and to give opportunities to them. Saw Dion out here today. We talked about that. We talked about the importance of that, the importance of us as an entity, him too as well, to continue to go back and create those opportunities. Because man, there's a lot of great players who often get overlooked at those colleges, and we want to make sure that we are leading the way. And in a way, going back to the innovation part, not that that's an innovative concept, but it's really right there in front of you, and it's been right there in front of you all of these years. So we'll continue to do that for as long as this league is up and running.
Time for a couple more.
Hey DJ, Jeff Bolt with Fox Sports here in Dallas. How much have you put into this, and why is making spring football work so important?
Sure. You mean in terms of how much have I put into
In all that.
economically? Or
Time-wise, everything,
a lot across the board, but happily. So it goes back to, I love the game of football, and I love this idea that I'm in a really lucky and fortunate position that I can help create opportunities for players to live their dreams and help create these opportunities for players to ball out. And as you guys know, you've been around the players, you've played the game yourselves. From a very early age, these players have the dream and have held on to the dream. So many years later, I have an opportunity to stand the league up. In the spring, I thought we found some great success in our first season of the XFL. USFL found some great success too in their first 2 seasons. And I love the fact that we converged together, wanting to create one opportunity here. So I have dedicated so much time and passion and love to this, just as much as I did back when I was playing for the University of Miami. But the drive was still the same, but the goals were different. The drive back drive today is still the same. It is to make it, but it's to make it for the league. But the other side to that, perhaps the most important, is if the league makes it, then the players make it. And that's what I keep going back to. Just taking care of the players and creating opportunities for them. I wish I had this when I was around. Instead, I went to the CFL. Got my ass kicked up there, but that's another story. It's not right about that. Yeah, man.
How's it going, Rob? Ron Murray, K104. Welcome back to the DFW.
Thank you.
So you're someone, you got your hands in a lot of different things, from WrestleMania obligations, running the football league, movies. So with that, have you ever given another thought? Of course, 2024 would be too late, but
No.
you know, a possible presidential run or a career in politics. Have you ever given another thought about that?
Well, I think about it every time somebody brings it up, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the support in this idea that there might be a few out there who were vocal, and I appreciate that. But right now, the most important thing for me is being a father to my little ones and my 3 daughters. One who's grown up, much more grown up than I am, and my 2 little ones. 2 at home. Like, that's the most important thing. Whoever winds up in office at the White House at the end of this year and 2028, I look forward to the recalibrating of our country. I look forward to the country coming back together. And I look forward to our country having the anchoring and the integrity for people to have different opinions and acting okay, and having open conversations about, hey, I feel this way. Great, tell me about it. I feel this way. Okay, great. Not it's either this way or no way, which creates this divide, which really bugs me. And I don't want to go too far down. Appreciate it, Rod. Appreciate you saying that.
If you know me, then you know how much I love barbecue. And when I'm in Bishop Arts, I walk right into Lockhart Smokehouse. You should come down to Lockhart Smokehouse and try some of their variety of meat smoked with Texas post oak. Smoky flavor that's not too overpowering. The family tradition Kretz Market sausages are mouth-watering just like the brisket, ribs, and chicken. Can't forget your classic sides with locations in Dallas Bishop Arts District, downtown Plano, Texas, live in Arlington. Check us out at LockhartSmokehouse.com.
Just overall, I've got some things that stood out to me. The big one was possession downs, 3rd and 4th downs. They were 9 out of 14 combined, and we weren't too bad, but we were 6 of 11. But defensively, we couldn't get them off the field. They converted too many long yardage 3rd downs. We couldn't keep the quarterback in the pocket. It was a big part of that. But they converted a bunch of 3rd downs, and we did some, but not enough. And they ran the football a lot better than we did. And those are 2 big things I believe in any football game that control games is people that can run it and convert 3rd and 4th downs makes a big difference. And other than that, before, defensively through the first half, or even as a team, I thought, hey, we're playing a good game, and then we give up a double move, a little pat, stutter and go with 9 seconds to go. I mean, it just, I don't know. We just got to play, more discipline there and know the situation. And I thought that was pretty deflating. And then, anyway, we just overall didn't execute well enough. I thought our tackling was really poor. And, their tackling was better than ours was. So those are just some key parts of the game. But it's a long year. It's not a divisional game, even though you want to win it. But and then hopefully we just got a lot to get better after this coming week against a good St. Louis team.
Coach Anthony, 59-yard rush game. What do you think contributes as relevant to the running game, and what can you do to kind of build off the track with that over the next few weeks?
Yeah, usually it gets down to, just blocking in space. And some of those, were RPOs and the timers, one time I know for sure we chose the wrong side. We had a better opportunity the other side. So, we'll have to watch it all and figure out why. But I do believe, this is a really good team. And I have all the respect in the world and compliments to Birmingham. But I know we can play better than we did today, and that's what you take on as a coach. That it's my responsibility to make sure that they do.
Hey, Coach, Jimmy John with BT10 Sports. What could you attribute some of the missed opportunities in the pass game with Perez and the wide receivers today?
Yeah, we had a couple more. We had some deep shots, available to us. That one I don't think we saw it. And then the second one that ended up getting intercepted, and Devontae Payton's 5 yards behind everybody. But Luis had to move off his spot because of pressure. One of the DNs was coming and crashing in, and it just delayed them long enough to let the guy, their DB catch up. And so the timing wasn't what it needs to be. But again, I got all the confidence in the world in Luis, and he'll make those throws. And you make a couple of those, we don't give up the one at the end of the half. There's a lot that could change that, that maybe from the outside everyone doesn't see. I always watch games. Sometimes it's never as good as you think it was as a coach, and it's never as bad. And realizing in a lot of these games, a couple, 3 plays can change everything.
Yeah, Coach, nice seeing you again.
Yeah.
And talk about they made a big play, said, and got a touchdown. It seemed like after that point, the team kind of lost a little bit of pep in their step. Can you talk about how they took that big play on them and try to continue playing the game and try to win?
Well, it's a long game, so you can't let one play, change what's going to happen the next half or the next play. You got to be resilient and keep pushing.
Have one more question for Coach?
You lost Scott. I'll let you ask one too. Go ahead. And I don't usually do that. Yeah.
Coach, just talk about kind of the preparation you've been doing with your team over the last 4 weeks as you prepare for a more competitive UFL with the talent level being higher than it was last year.
Yeah, it's been a long 4 weeks. It really has. These guys have worked hard. They're an absolute joy to be around and coach every day. And I know we're not the only ones that have worked hard. So everyone's worked in a really positive, good way. And so anyway, I was kind of anxious to see us play today because you haven't gone live. I think that kind of hurts us too. I don't know how much other teams have gone to live action in practices, but our tackling was poor, and so anyhow, I thought we came in. I thought we would have performed better today. So we'll see if. And again, some of it's because of Birmingham, but some of it's just us too, our execution.
I appreciate you, Coach. Ron Murray, K104. So, of course, everyone is the UFL right now, but you were the XFL champions. They're the back-to-back USFL champions. So today, do they bring a different type of football or a different type of physicality in the game that you saw that would be, in a way, cross-league play?
No, I thought that we were very similar. I mean, it's an 11-11 game at half, and so I thought I knew they were a good team coming in. I mean, and we're all, and I felt we were, and we're all better. I know we're better overall talent-wise, so I figured they had to be too. So anyway, so I think there's a lot of similarities in both leagues. Well, there was. There's one league now, but I mean, I think everybody's team has been boosted by joining leagues. Boosted with talent.
Wow, it's fun to finally play. We've been talking about this for a while now, and I know this seems like the longest camp I've ever been in my life. I mean, it's been 4 weeks and going from 75 down to 58, going from 58 to 50. I know in this last week, especially for the players, it's like, can we get to the game? I think everybody was just ready to play. And so how exciting it is to have the opportunity to be part of the new UFL, have the opportunity to be part of this opening game, to represent Birmingham, and to start this season out 1-0. What a great, I'm just really proud of these players, the way they competed. I've been commenting earlier. I have no idea what we have. We have not seen the running back get tackled. We have not seen the receiver get hit. We haven't seen us protect our quarterback. We haven't seen our defense tackle, how we're going to turn the ball over, with so many unknowns. And we're going to learn a lot about our football team today. What I was most impressed with was we turned the ball over 2 times early in the first half. Moved the ball, but turned the ball over 2 times. And nobody blinked. You know what I mean? Nobody blinked, nobody panicked, nobody flinched. This is how we do it. Let's just keep banging that rock. Somebody's going to make a play. I thought the play that was made right before half, I thought the defense getting the ball back to us. And then the play that both Matt and Dion made, ran a stop route. They've been kind of sitting on everything and kind of came to terms that, you know what, they start sitting, we're going to stutter and go deep. The DB sat. And so I thought they did a phenomenal job of executing that play. Can't say enough positive things about these players, about what they did, but I told them we guaranteed 10 of these. That was only one. You know, nothing's ever as good, nothing's ever as bad. We got an awful lot to clean up. We had, I don't know, 8, 9 penalties, preset penalties. Looked like we never practiced before, delayed games, guys lined up on the wrong side. Like, driving me nuts. I mean, a lot of things we got to clean up. We still got a long way to go to be the football team that we want to be. As I told the team, I don't know how good we can be. I just want to make sure with all our work and preparation, we're as good as we can be. And really been proud of the effort that these guys have put forward. So, honored to win, great to be part of the UFL, to be part of this inaugural game, this first game, and to come away with a win. Tons of respects for Arlington, their staff, for Coach Stoops. I mean, you guys are one of my idols, you know what I mean? So for me, it's a dream come true to have the opportunity to stand on the opposite side of the sideline with him and compete with the man, and not only his success, but his integrity. I just have great respect for Coach Stoops. So anyway, questions?
Congratulations on the win. This is Alan Ocker, the Alan Ocker Post-Up Show. Along those lines, you beat a very, very good team that you were down a pretty good amount for a team that is a champion. Talk about the resolve in the team that you stood the course and went ahead and just took over the game.
Well, everybody in this league, we've talked about it, everybody in this league has talent. I think every coach has stood up there in the microphone so far and said we've got more talent than we've ever had. XFL, USFL, you got 88 starters out of each league that were drafted as backups into every team. So you've got an incredible amount of talent in this league. But you know what? It's what we talked about. You're not going to win just because of talent. You're going to win as a football team. And I think it's a real testament to these players for giving up their individuality for the good of this team, and the way that they've worked, the way that they've celebrated, the way that they've gelled, the way that they've come together, the way that they've supported each other. That's probably what makes me most proud to watch these guys compete together as a football team, because a lot of people have talent, but it's who can play together as a team, and that's what these guys have done a phenomenal job of.
Coach Anthony Miller, Fan Nation Sports Illustrated. Background, first career start in the professionals. What was your assessment of him? It seems like packed crosses, so starting right seemed to get really comfortable with the game run. What's your assessment of him?
You know, I love Matt. I love his attitude. I love his work ethic. I love what he's doing. He ran the ball on a draw, got us down there in the red zone right at the end of the quarter. And he came over to me and I said, all right, here's what we're thinking. And he looked right at me. He goes, God, I needed that. I said, what? He said, I needed that hit. I needed to be hit like that to like, all right, now we're playing football. You know what I mean? It's like I got to knock the rust off. I needed that hit. Let's bit my tongue. Tongue's bleeding. I need some water. I mean, I needed that just to say, hey, let's compete. Almost like I needed to get punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? And he's a competitor now. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in that game that weren't drawn up on these pre-sports in here. You know what I mean? Guys making plays and having success. The way you see him in the field, some of the reads that he made, I thought he did an excellent job. Still got a long ways to go, but I was really proud of him. I think he started out slow, but once he got going, I think his talent really starts to show. You know, it's a shame for Adrian. Adrian came back to really just can't run right now, and I said, well, that's not fair for me to put you out there right now. I want him for the season. I've said this all along. There's 2 quarterbacks. I'm really proud of what Matt did today. But I'm telling you, the numbers between those two will continue to play every game because they both deserve it, and they're both winning quarterbacks, and they both create a different level for our offense right now. We're going to need them both, and I'm really proud of them. But I told Matt, told Adrian, it was not worth it in this game when we got the lead to put him out there on one leg. It would not have been worth it to lose him for 6 weeks today. But really proud of Matt.
Hey Coach, Jimmy John here with B210 Sports. Besides not turning the ball over, what did y'all do in the last 3 quarters that you really liked that y'all can keep on moving forward?
You know what? We picked the ball up and we threw it to first base. You know what I mean? We made the routine play. When in football, sometimes everyone wants it to be about the one-hand toe tap, the one-handed interception, the huge hit. You know, sometimes it's just picking the ball up, throwing it to first base. Let's get it out. You know, the 4-minute offense at the end, the way the defense, just keep the ball in front of us. We gave up a couple plays, but you know what? We kept the ball in front of us, rallied to it. We gave up one over our heads. But other than that, I thought we did our job. You know what I mean? We did our job. We kept the ball in front. Thought we tackled pretty decently. We got them on the ground offensively. We took what they gave us. We didn't try and make the super effort play. We executed. And that to me makes me more proud as a football coach than just throwing talent out on the field and making one-hand catches. Watching those guys execute, watching 11 guys work together as one. And even though the play picks up 6, perfect, great. You read it, you threw it, you protected it, you caught it. They tackled us. 2nd and 4, we're good. We're right on track. You know what I mean? Let's just keep going. Every play's not a touchdown, but I thought they did a really good job of executing the offense today and the defense, both sides. Something to clean up our kickoff team. You know, I mean, we gave up some points, but I think once they started both of them on our end of the field, one was with a face mask on kickoff, and one was with a sportsmanlike penalty. And both of their scores ended up starting off with a poor field position against our defense. And it's not fair to put them with their backs up against the wall like that, where they get to make one first down and kick a field goal. That's not fair. We got to get better in our special teams.
Couple more questions, you guys can get the players.
Yeah, just talk about for each one of you, the fact that you made it to this journey to be on this team, which is not easy for a lot of players. Talk about your individual journey to make it and be playing on UFL.
Maybe, you know, the opportunity, getting this opportunity to play in the league is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach said, there's a lot of guys that when this merge happened, a lot of jobs got cut. You know, and the league became a lot more competitive. So, you know, when competition rises, you know, I believe the best gonna rise to the top. I feel like the guys that are on the roster, they did that.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Most definitely just to play back tonight. It's definitely a blessing for us to, you know, all of us to be here. You know, with us coming from the USFL, just to make this merge, like today was just history for all of us. We started a new league, just really be here, just to, you know, showcase our talent to a lot of people and just play the game that we love. So, just for us to, you know, come as one and to be in this league and, you know, to keep playing and just excited to see where we grow from here. Our team is coming out pretty good. Just trying to go into next week and come up with another win. So thank you for having us, for real.
For all 3 of you, just kind of talk about these last 9 months. You talked about the training camp, but just in general, how y'all have dealt with this kind of transition from the USFL to not knowing if it was going to be the USFL, the XFL, the UFL. Just talk about that transition.
Oh, well, the transition was, you know, obviously just going through that process. We've been hearing a little bit of rumors going in last year and stuff like that. But once we made it official, we all just knew that we still are Birmingham Stallions regardless. No matter if it's USFL or UFL, we still got to uphold, you know, our recommendation. You know, that's towards us as being champions or just going out there and winning football games. So we wanted to keep that standard the same thing. And as we went, you know, came together, Coach Gibb kept the same model for us to, you know, to really follow by. And as a team, we all bought in. And we just trying to keep going every week to see, you know, our best foot, you know, try to keep our best foot forward. We're not done yet.
It's a 9-month process to be here.
Oh yeah, man. The process is, again, like I said, it's a blessing, man. There's a lot of guys that I know personally did not make the merge. You know what I'm saying? That can play and that can start in this league. So it's nothing but a blessing. It's nothing but a blessing to come out, do what we love, you know, for the Birmingham Stallions. And we want to know this week. We want to know next week.
I just said, to me, it's like, the only thing I asked is, when I heard all about, the merger, the possibility of the merger, I just said, are the Stallions in it? If the Stallions are in it, I'm good. You just tell me when and where do we show up, and let's go put it together. I just needed to hear that we were gonna be in it and that we were safe, because I hate it, you know what I mean? I saw, I see some of the coaches that were in this league before. There's a couple of them out on the field pre-game, you know what I mean? I hope the league will continue to grow in a hurry, so some of those guys will have the opportunity to get back into it, because I think they're good coaches and good people, and I think there's plenty of talent. I think there's more talent to support this league than 8 teams. And I watched the talent in these 2 leagues together, and I think it can certainly grow, and I would love to see it continue to do so every year.
Bill, last question.
Hey, Coach, hats off to you guys for going 1-0. Great performance today. You talk about the momentum shifter of the game really being that end of the half touchdown from Matt to Dion, just a beautiful ball. Let's take it back to a play before that. You guys had a 4th and 2 from the +43 with under 15 seconds left. What went into that decision to go for that, and do you guys normally stay that aggressive?
What I did, it was 2 yards. I said, we've got everybody back playing the pass. If we can't make 2 yards, I don't know that we deserve to win. You know what I mean? We're playing against a 3-man front with 8 guys sinking back and trying to play pass. And you know what? I was right. We got 2.5 yards. So, you know what? We got maybe 2 yards and a foot. I don't know if it was a full 1.5 feet over. But just get the first down, and then really my thought was, like I said, we were trying to run stop routes. We were trying to run stop routes down the field on the sideline, hit the ball and step out of bounds and kick the field goal. That's what we were trying to do. But they were sitting on everything, and if they sit, then we're going to stutter and go. And I thought, like I said, I thought Dion and Matt were on the same page and did a great job reading and let it go. But yeah, I just felt like we had a chance to get points. We were down, and I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give up on the half. I'm one of those believers that if there's time on the clock, you got an opportunity to score. And I know a lot of people are like, golly, take it, me. Just get out of the half. Don't do something stupid. If there's time on the clock, we still have a chance to score. And I think today was a great example of that. The players on our team that believed and executed what they needed to do to put points up.